I'm going to go over a couple of watercolor techniques. The first one is called wet on wet. Basically, you just lay down some clean water and then you lay down a color that's wet. Just like that. The next technique, I am not going to wash off my brush. I'm just gonna go straight in after I have just done the wet on wet. And that is called dry brush. Now when it comes to watercolor, the more water you add, the lighter the color will be. The more paint you add, the more like vibrant and opaque the color will be. So if I go in directly with my paint, my color is darker. If I don't wash off my brush and I just dip it right into the water just like that, my color will be lighter if I take it onto the page. So see, that's a little bit of color with a lot of water, and that is a lot of color with a little bit of water. And this is called a gradient, because you go from dark to light. The next one we are going to do is a blend. Whenever you are blending colors with paint, you always want to work with wet paint. So your paint has to be wet when you're blending, and it's a good rule of thumb to start with the lighter color and then move in with the darker color. So if I'm blending my yellow with my orange, I'm going to start with my yellow. So I go in with my yellow. And I lay down some of my color. I dip my brush into the water and I clean it out. And then I go into my orange. And I slowly blend it into the yellow. You can always go back for more color too, to make your blending more noticeable. Just be sure to wash your brush between each take. Each time you go into a new color, always wash your brush. You can always blend with just water too. So this is a 2-color blend. Next, I'm gonna do something kind of similar to what I did up here. It's like a color drop. And then I'm gonna go directly into a color. And then I'm just gonna drop it and watch it expand. You can do this with another color as well to see how they like interact. And watercolor in general, it dries lighter than how it looks. So everything will dry lighter. So this is a color drop. Next, we are going to do something called a wash. So a wash just means you're using a lot of water. So if I do it with my orange, I want to add a lot of water, and you can always mix colors right here too on the mixing palette. I'm going to show you how to do that. So a wash, you just need a lot of water to make your wash. Just like that. So it does look different than this. A wash is kind of like the end of this gradient. Next, I'm going to show you how to mix colors. So I briefly talked about it, but if you want to mix some colors, you can even mix it with this type of palette. Just lay down your color over here, clean your brush, and then go into the color you want to mix with. So this makes like a red-orange. Or maybe you might want to do it with another color. Maybe you might want to do it with blue. So remember, when you go in between colors, you always want to clean your brush. Then now I'm going to go in with orange so that you can see the difference between this red orange and this orange. I'm going to do the same thing with the blue. So you can mix your colors. So this is red plus orange. And this is purple plus blue. And then this is just orange. And this is just blue. And remember, whenever you are done mixing your colors, you always want to clean this palette. You can just wipe it. Okay, and before your colors set, just gently tap them so that you don't get any puddles. So you just gently tap with a clean paper towel so that way puddles don't dry. Okay, so a really cool thing you can do is you can turn your markers into watercolor. All you have to do is pick your color. So if I'm using this pink, I draw directly onto my plastic palette, and then I go in with some water. And there, it turns into watercolor. So if you don't have watercolor at home, but you want to use watercolors within your artwork, all you need is something plastic that you can wipe and easily clean off, a brush with water, and Crayola markers. So here we can do some more colors too. And it's important that your marker color does not dry out. So that is my green, really pretty. If I want to blend it with this I draw my turquoise right on top. Add some water. And there you go, I can start to blend. Really cool. So you can do that with all of your colors. Another cool thing you can do is you can use crayons with your watercolor. So all you do is just draw. And then take your watercolor and just color right on top. So this is called a crayon resist. So it's really cool. You can definitely use crayons with your watercolor. You could even turn your markers into watercolor as well.